welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. The City of Westminster is focusing on making some major infrastructure improvements. This at a time when a lot of cities can barely pay their bills. Here with a closer look on how the city is managing to do this at a time like this is Tyler Diep. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me on today.
So you have a new police department building, a new Chamber of Commerce building, you're going to rebuild your corporate yard and a new parking for the Civic Center. How can you do this right now?
Well, Leslie, we're relying on funding from the redevelopment agency, which we get every year from the state in the sum of roughly $21 million. And that is very critical to how we run the services that's currently in place right now for the residents of Westminster. As you know, everything that we fund, we use this money from the state, which is earmarked for a specific project like this to help out with infrastructures. And I do hope that ultimately the agency will still be around for years to come so that we can continue to provide this kind of service.
Well, in the budget just signed by Governor Jerry Brown, he is redirecting the redevelopment agency money. How are you going to compensate for that?
Well, right now we're hoping that this matter will be settled in court first, because last year the people of the state did pass a ballot initiative saying that the state cannot raid RDA fund. And the state turned around and just completely eliminated it. And I think ultimately the Supreme Court will have the final say on whether this program will continue in the future.
Because that is a technicality. Prop 22 said you can't steal money from one fund and put it into another fund, but the state's thinking is that if they do terminate the program altogether, it's not stealing money from the fund, they're doing away with it altogether. What impact will this have on these projects that you already have planned underway? Well,
for example, street improvement, paving potholes, making sure that we have nice curb and gutter. We issue bonds to do it, and once you issue a bond, it takes years to pay it back, and we rely on that revenue to pay back our obligations. And when the state take it away, we're kind of stuck with holding the bag. We have to make sure that our infrastructure is up to date, and we have safe streets for the resident to drive on. At the same time, after we committed this dollars, the state saying you're not going to have this revenue in the future. So that's the dilemma that we're facing.
So are you planning on moving forward using bonds in hopes that you will win the lawsuit about the redevelopment agency, a loss of money at a later date?
Well, I think strategically every city in Orange County is trying to obligate a huge sum of its RDA fund prior to the RDA itself being eliminated, and that hopefully that when we go to court we can say that the state cannot come in and arbitrarily negatively impact or have some sort of adverse effect on a contract between the city and the people that we're selling the bonds to. And we're hoping that strategy will stand up in court.
Okay. On another matter altogether, this is the first year Westminster voters passed an ordinance to allow fireworks once again in the city. How did that go? It's been 20 years, and did you have a successful 4th of July?
Yes, we did, and it was spectacular. I was volunteering at several fireworks booths, and it's truly an American tradition to be able to display our patriotism and fireworks during the 4th of July break, and a lot of residents enjoy it. We made a lot of money for nonprofits groups. As you know, that with the budget being so tight, a lot of groups are facing cutback from local government and state government. So this will certainly help them with the means to continue operating for for the next few years.
All right. Thank you very much for checking in with us and updating us.
Okay. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you so much for being here. Stay with us. More HLN coming right up.